An algebraic fraction is the same as any other fraction. It has a numerator and it has a denominator. So a half is an example of a fraction, or 3/5, or 10 divided by 2. So these are all fractions. Sometimes they can be simplified. Like this is as simple as it gets. You can't simplify this, but you could simplify this. 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5. Okay, so you can simplify fractions. And in this part of the course, we're being asked to divide algebraic fractions. So you're going to be dividing 3x squared minus 22x plus 7 by this. Okay, so let's have a go and see how you do it. Okay, well, you write down your 3x squared minus 22x plus 7. You write it down like this, and you prepare it to be divided. So 3x minus 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the 3x into the 3x squared. So how many times does 3x go into 3x squared? Well, 3 goes into 3 once. I can write down a 1 if I like. And the x goes into x squared x times. Okay, now I didn't need to write the 1 down, but there's no harm. Now what I do is I multiply this 1x by all of this here. So I multiply the x by the 3x, which gives me 3x squared. And I multiply the x by the minus 1, which gives me minus x. Okay, so x by minus 1 gives me minus x, so minus x. I then subtract the whole thing. And I'm going to go 3x squared, take away 3x squared is 0. And 22x minus x becomes a minus x becomes a plus x. So minus 22x plus x is minus 21x. And then I take down my 7 as well. Now I divide my 3x minus 1 into this. How many times does 3x go into minus 21x? Well, 3 goes into minus 21 7 times. So that's minus 7. And so that's all I have to do there. And then what I do is I multiply the minus 7 by all of this. So minus 7 by 3x is minus 21x. Minus 21x. And minus 7 by minus 1 gives me plus 7. And then I subtract all of that, and I'm going to get 0. So what my answer is x minus 7. Let's do another one. Okay, divide 10x squared minus 7x minus 12. Divide that by 2x minus 3. So I look at my 2x dividing into 10x squared. 2 goes into 10 5 times. And the x goes into the x squared x times. I then multiply this 5x by all of this here. And I'm going to go 5x by 2x is 10x squared. 10x squared. And 5x by minus 3 gives me minus 15x. So minus 15x. I then subtract all of that. I can put the brackets around that. Do that. 10x squared minus 10x squared is 0. Minus 7x minus 15. That becomes a plus 15. Now you have a minus 7 plus 15 is plus 8. So that gives me 8x. And then I take down to 12 here. Now I divide my 2x into 8x. 2 goes into 8 4 times. And again, plus 4. It's not minus 4, it's a plus 4. And that's fine, because it goes into it 4 times. Just x goes into x once. Then I multiply this by all of this again for the second time. And I'm going to get 8x minus 12. And when I subtract all of that, I get 0. So the answer is 5x plus 4. Okay? Now I have one more advanced type of question for you in the next slide. Let's have a look at this one. So we're going to divide this particular expression here, 6x cubed minus 13x squared plus 4, by that. You'll notice that there's no x. There's an x cubed and x squared, but there's no x. So we rewrite this function like this, this expression like this. Okay, so I'll do it in blue. I'm going to go 6x cubed minus 13x squared plus 0x. You add in a 0x because it's missing, plus 4. And then we divide that by 2x plus 1. Okay? So we've added in we had an x cubed, we have an x squared, we've got an x, and then we add in the 4. Oh, sorry, the 4 is already there. Good. So let's divide in the same as we did last time. So I'm going to look, how many times does 2x divide into 6x cubed? Well, 2 goes into x 3 times. Sorry. 2 goes into 6 3 times, and x goes into x cubed, x squared. Now I multiply that out. 3x squared by 2x gives me 6x cubed. 6x cubed. And 3x squared by 1 gives me 3x squared. And it's going to be plus 3x squared. Subtract all of that. That's going to give me 0. Minus 13 minus 3 is minus 16 x squared plus 0x. Bring that down. Now I look at my 2x plus 1 again, and I see how many times does 2x divide into minus 16x squared. Well, 2 goes into 16 at minus 16, goes into minus 8 times, and the x goes into the x squared. The x here goes into the x squared, it goes in x times. So that's minus 8x. I now multiply this minus 8x by all of this. Minus 8x by 2x gives me minus 16x squared. Minus 16x squared. And minus 8x by 1 gives me minus 8x. Minus 8x. I bracket all that. I subtract it. Now I've got these two cancel out. They go to 0. Plus x minus minus 8x gives me plus 8x. I then take down to 4. So 0x minus minus 8 becomes plus 8. So 8x plus 4. I then go back up to here, to the 2x. I see, does the 2x divide into 8x? It does. It goes in 4 times. Plus 4. And then I multiply the 4 by all of this, which is going to give me 8x plus 4. And I subtract and I get 0. So 2x plus 1 divides into this algebraic expression, 3x squared minus 8x plus 4, and there's nothing left over, 0 left over. So this is kind of the equivalent of something like this, 10 divided by 2, or 16 divided by 4, or 100 divided by 25. It's an even number. If there was something left over, and there can be, not all algebraic expressions divide in nice and evenly. All the ones we'll be doing on the junior cert will. But just for those of you who are a bit more interested, if I had 5 divided by, say, 2, that's equal to 2, remainder 1. 2.5, but you get remainder 1. Okay, so if there wasn't a 0 here, it would be like the equivalent of a remainder. Let's have a look at one more of these and then we're done. Look at this question here. It says the area of the rectangle is equal to 6x squared minus x plus 12, and one side is equal to 3x plus 4. What's the other side? Well, you know, if we have a rectangle and the size is equal to 4 by 3, the area is equal to 12. You multiply them. If we're given a rectangle and we're told the inside is equal to, say, 15, and we're told that one side is 3, well then, what's the other side? Well, we know it's 15 divided by 3 will give us the answer, question mark, which is equal to 5. Okay, so the same with this here on our rectangle. We've got the area is equal to this. We know that the area divided by this will give us this over here. So it's the very same. I'm just going to go 6x squared minus x minus 12 divided by 3x plus 4. I go 3x into 6x squared, gives me 2x. 6x squared, 2x multiplied by 4 is going to give me 8x plus 8x, and so on. So they cancel out. Minus x minus 8 is minus 9x. Minus 12, I'll bring this one down as well, bring that down to here. And then I'll work out how many times does 3x divide into this. 3x divide into this minus 3 times, minus 3. And minus 3 multiplied by this is going to give me minus 9x minus 12. So this side here, the answer is, the question mark is equal to 2x minus 3.